Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about text structure. So the 5 that we're going to focus on are problem and solution, compare and contrast, sequence of events, cause and effect, and description. I purposely named description last because a good author is always going to do a fantastic job of describing whatever it is they're talking about. Whatever they want you to learn about, they're going to describe it very well. Okay, that's why they got their book published. So let's look at some of the other choices first. It's kind of like what I had you do when we were learning types of sentences. We asked ourselves, is it this, is it this, is it this? And if not, then it must be declarative. So kind of the same thing is true today. If it's not problem solution, it's not compare and contrast, it's not screaming sequence of events or cause and effect, then it must be description. So let's first talk about problem and solution. Problem and solution can be tricky because it's very similar to cause and effect. When you think of cause and effect, you think of maybe you were late for school. Well, that is a problem, okay? But if we're saying I was late for school because I overslept, that is a cause and effect relationship. Whereas if you're talking problem and solution, I was late for school, what's the solution? I will need to set my alarm tomorrow. So now we have a problem and solution. So there is a difference between the two. Sometimes it can be tricky. So we have problem and solution, which presents a problem and explains how it is solved. So I always tell students, if there's a problem, but we don't have a solution, we don't know how the problem is being solved, then it is a cause and effect, okay? Cause and effect explains why something happened, which is the cause, and what happened as a result, the effect. For example, you got straight A's on your report card, so as the effect, maybe you got an extra 30 minutes of time to play on your video games. Or maybe because you got straight A's, you got to go out for an ice cream sundae. That's a cause and effect relationship, okay? We also have compare and contrast. Compare and contrast is when we talk about how things are the same or their similarities and then their differences, okay? We may be comparing two different things such as an event, time periods, or even people or places. Then we have sequence of events, which is also called chronological order. Chrono meaning time, logic meaning something that makes sense. So chrono meaning time, so in a time that makes sense, chronological. Sequence of events. Often you will see signal words such as first, next, then, after, and also dates. If you see those things, it is a sequence of events. That is the structure the story is being told in. All right? And then our final one is description. Description includes details to help you get to know the person, place, thing, or idea in great detail. Okay? So we do have 5 that you're focusing on today, and different sections within the story that we read yesterday, the blood, smoke, and freedom, the blood, smoke, and freedom story, we're going to be today figuring out what text structure did the author use. So when you go through the activity that I'm giving you today, you may need to be looking at different sections. And when I say different sections, we're looking for those text features as well, such as the heading, okay, or the subheadings. So each section is separated by these subheadings. This is very helpful. One, it tells you mostly what that section is about, okay, so that's important. It tells you the main idea. And it's also helpful when you're looking to answer questions, so you do not have to reread the entire passage. You just reread the section that you need. Okay, so looking at that heading should refresh your memory as to what that section was about. So a new world, trouble brewing, those are all examples of those headings that I'm talking about. Okay, so just to give you a quick view here, if I can find it. All right. Here's the worksheet that I was going to do with you. I'm going to change it up a little bit. However, you do need to look for the specific sections and then decide what text structure is being used. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know.